Hey everyone, welcome to our live chat. I'm Heather, and Renee and I are here for you each and every day, Monday through Friday. Here, I'm gonna put the times below. Monday through Friday, starting at 8 Central, 8 o'clock in the morning, we are starting with you guys so we can talk Luminous, we can talk about whatever we want, and all the differences about Luminous. We always tell you that, there's different ways you can put this on, and I don't want to confuse the newbies. So I do want to go over the basics. So let's just talk about what you get in your kit. Let me see who's already on. Hey, Tamberly, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. And so if you received your kit, it might have these products in it. And so we do give you 2 bottles of foundation, which is great because that way you can mix and match and you can practice. You can, think of your starter kit as your practice kit. We want you to get in there and start airbrushing. Let me switch hands because it's on the other side. We want you to get in there and start airbrushing. We do give you some love and we give you some blush. And so the blush is super high pigmented, meaning it does intensify later. And so we will talk about that as well, because I'm going to use all the products in here, so you know. But I did put, what order do you do things in? Because it is important to know that you can change it up. Oops. Oh yeah, I didn't want that one. That you can change this up. We want you, when you first get your system, to get it out and just start practicing. Start using the air, using water in here. This is where the air comes out of it. It's already connected, guys. The only thing you have to do is plug in your power cord. I keep going the wrong way now. Plug in the power and go to town. But you can practice with water. You can practice with just the air, moving that stylus around so you get that feeling of the air on your, I have to keep switching hands, the air on your face. You also want to stay 4 finger widths away, which is right here. That's a perfect distance to get that flawless application, and then barely pull back on that trigger. That's the one thing you'll probably want to practice because it is so different than traditional makeup and you don't want to see it go on. So make sure you're pulling back light. So if it feels sticky, tacky, maybe you got a hot spot, chances are you're pulling back too hard on the trigger. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I was on with Renee today at the 10 o'clock and I was like, oh, I'm missing a lot of product. I don't have X out, or I do have Glow, but I don't have X out or Eraser, and those are things that I'm going to need to get. So when I'm here, I can use them. Hello, Michelle. Happy Friday. Make sure I didn't miss anybody real quick. Hey, I did. Okay. Hey, Jeannie. I keep saying good morning. Good afternoon. Hey, Karen, Brenda. Oh, thank you, Brenda. All right. Everyone is here. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Normally, I use the peach color corrector, or I will use maybe the CC corrector for my under eye circles and to cover. I have dark lids. And so I will use those products first to cover that. These are other products you can't, I don't know if I want to tell you because I don't want to overwhelm the newbies. Because I'm also all about minimizing the products that you're using so you're not overdoing it. Airbrush makeup is so different that a lot of our products overlap. And so let's say you're going to use the color correctors because you have redness and you have dark circles. That's 2 different colors. Green is for the redness, and then the peach would be for sunspots, dark circles, things like that. All right. Do I want you to use both color correctors? No. I would pick which is which one you want to hide the most and pick that color corrector. So with me, I like to even out my lids and my under eye, and so I still have redness, especially on my nose. So I would use the peach for all of that. Everything airbrush that has color has a pigmentation, no matter what it is, has a pigmentation, gives you coverage, some sort of coverage. Even though you might not put it on for that, it's going to give you some coverage. So even the blush gives you a little bit of coverage, okay? So I hope I didn't confuse everybody, but let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna stick with what is in my kit. And so I'm gonna use the Ultra Shade 3. Did all that make sense, guys? Does that help explain it a little bit? I'm gonna put my drops right in here. And I'm gonna use this for my lid and under my eyes, all right? Now I have nothing on. I haven't even done my eyebrows. And so you can go in and with this, and maybe this is something you do when you first start out, is just don't worry about anything else except the foundation. That's all I want you to really concentrate on. Once you get that down, then everything else is a cakewalk. It's icing on the cake. Because if you can get the foundation down, it doesn't matter what you put in here. You're using the same technique. Does that make sense too? I hope so. Clear as mud, as they say. All right, so I'm gonna go back on my, I have to use mirror. Back on my lids. I think next hour I might do half and half. Like only do half of my face so you can see the difference. Okay, so right now, hey Nancy, is the lip jelly out? Ooh, I know people are gonna freak. Hey Connie. Ooh, yay, big shipment. Good afternoon, Amber. All right, so now I'm just going in and I'm using my foundation kind of as a concealer, kind of just doing some what I call pre-work and just getting that that coverage started with in those problem areas that I like to concentrate on. All right. So now I'll go in and I'm going to apply some blush and shake this up. Do I have, whoa. All right, so now I'm going to do I'll do 3. I'm pushing the envelope a little bit. I'm going to do my drops of Tulip. Now I am putting this on beforehand. Okay, so it's going to blend my, when I do my foundation, it will blend this blush if I get it too strong, all right? So I'll go in. And notice how I switch from side to side. All right. Now you're going to see this start building, start coming up. And so I want to give it a second just so you can see that. All right. So right now I just have foundation as kind of a concealer. I used it on my lids and underneath my eyes. And then I did the blush. And I'm going to do Love to show you how it can highlight, and it does grab light a little bit, but not like our luminizers. It's just a little bit. It's very subtle. It's beautiful to mix in with your blushes. It's like the Tulip and Love together are gorgeous. You can mix those together. There's a lot of different things you can do. It's amazing. All right, so now let's go ahead and do eyebrows. One thing that I saw Renee do today, I normally use this brow pencil, and I like the Duo brow pencil because it does have that staying power. It has an angled like pencil. Can you see how it's angled? And so the way you put it on goes on super easy, okay? And it's going to stay all day. It's not going to fade or anything like that. But the way Renee did hers today was with powder, with eyeshadow. And that also should show you how pigmented our products are, because you're still going to have that staying power. It's not going to fade. It's not going to wash off, rub off, anything like that. So I'm going to do that today as well. And I'm going to go in with this medium brown, and I'm just using an angled brush. And I do it the same way as I would that pen, the Dual pen. Now, the positive about the pencil, the Duo pencil, is there's no flaking. So you might have a little bit of fallout with eyeshadow, but look how light I can brush and it goes on perfectly. Right there. So just even like if you're like, oh, I don't do brows, I don't know what to get, do an eyeshadow and an angled brush. Again, we're utilizing what we have, what works best for you. You might find airbrushing the brows. That's the best thing for you. And that's what you need to do. Then do that. Like I said, we do have a lot of products that overlap. I usually, like my normal routine would be to do my eyebrows first. To me, it helps frame my face and gauge where to put everything else. So it gives me a really good starting point. But if you don't want to do it till later, then don't do it later. But you have to play with it. You have to practice. You have to get your hands dirty, as they say, to see what you like and how you want it done. Make sense? All right. Now, because I already have this Nude and Naughty palette out, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes. So I'm going to go in with, I don't know what to do. Let's go in with this mauve color in the, I'm going to go in with the, it's a medium mauve color, and I'm going to go in and do my crease. Oh, Nancy, you've done that? Yeah. Awesome. Oh, Michelle never did her eyebrows until she found Luminous, and it does make a difference. I actually was watching the news last night, and everybody's wearing masks, you know, and if you haven't heard, but everybody's wearing masks, and one news reporter, I was like, girl, do your eyebrows. That's all they can see. She really didn't have any eyeshadow on. She was a beautiful girl. Eyebrows would have made such a difference on her. Because then all you saw was a mask. At least with like a little bit of color in the brows, you get like it draws the attention up. Oh, Michelle, you're a blonde with light eyebrows. We actually had a lot of questions about that the other day. All right, so that's just one color. You can, you know, like I said before, you can blend this out. You can go softer. It doesn't have to be as bright. You can just kind of go in there and play with it, see what you like, and just have fun. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do on my eyes. I'm gonna do it super natural. But something in my crease is going to give me a little depth, give me a little color, make my eyes pop. I already have the foundation on, so my eyelids were even, so I can go ahead and do that. And then if there's any fallout, you could bloop, bloop. Donna, yes. Yeah, you don't, I mean, I do, you can do, we have so many products. And so, yes, you can airbrush eyeshadow. You can airbrush eyeshadow along with traditional eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It just depends on the look that you want for that day. Hello, Candy. Good to see you. All right. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to start my coverage. I'll blow the rest of that out. I'm going to start my coverage using my foundation. And guys, I tell you this all the time. When you're spraying, make sure you spray light. And I know it's sometimes hard to understand because I'm like, spray light where you question whether or not it's coming out. You're like, what? That doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense because we are putting it on like, I don't know what's going on in my hair. We are putting it on differently than we would traditional makeup. And so expect it to be different, right? All right. So now I'm going to go in. And start making my coverage. So Amber, normally I'm a 3 and I pretty much stick with 3. And I'm going to make my pass. How's it looking, guys? Can you see how it's starting to blend the blush and how it's softening the blush? Can you guys see that? I'm gonna wait to get answers. I'm gonna go down my neck. And now that I made one pass, I can go back and start concentrating on those areas that I feel I need more coverage. So my forehead might not need as much coverage. So Candy sees it. Does everybody else see it? Tamberly said it looks natural. And that's a great thing. If you're one of those ladies who likes the makeup look, who loves the makeup look, then we can get you that. If you're one that wants that coverage but doesn't want the makeup look, we can get you that. If you're one that's like, I just want to even me out and not look like I have a drop of makeup on, we can do that for you too. And so that's the great thing about Luminous, because it can be all of that to anyone. Okay, so I'm getting all these yeses. That it looks great. Yes, it is softer. So you see that I've been putting makeup on, is what I'm getting at. I tricked you. Let me show you what shade I have on, or that's in here. I have shade 9. Can y'all see that? I have shade 9. I was putting my makeup on with shade 9. Is that my shade? No, it is too dark. That shade 9 is normally what I contour with. Okay? So when I tell you guys that you are spraying so light that you question whether or not it's coming out, or when I hear, oh, I need a color match. You might. Yeah, if you're using shade 9 and you're shade 3, yeah. But look how you can make it work. Now, if I kept going with that, yes, of course, it would be way dark. It wouldn't be it. But that first pass, you saw the difference. That's why I was like, I'm not going to say anything. You saw the difference. So you knew I was spraying. Now I'm going back to my shade 3. But that is how forgiving and how versatile Luminous is. And that's one thing that I love about it. All right. Back about something. Oh, Velvet Veil. Christina, thank you. Chamberlain. Yes, Velvet Veil. Velvet Veil is a blur. So it's going to help blur wrinkles and crinkles. It'll help reduce the look of the pores. And it also helps with redness. It's also great if you're shiny. Like if you get oily, it does help control oil as well. Karen said lighter application, less coverage. Karen, I would change that and say less passes, less coverage. The more passes you make, the more coverage you're getting. How I'm pulling back on this trigger and how much I'm spraying is still light. So whether I like full coverage or light coverage, I'm still pulling back itty bitty on this. That doesn't change. It's the passes that I make that will change. All right. Does that make sense? And I know it's just the verbiage as far as like I don't like to say layers, because with Luminous, I don't feel like you're layering the makeup because we're not covering every inch of our face. And so with traditional makeup, I feel it's more layers because you're putting that same amount of makeup everywhere. So of course that's layers. But with Luminous, I feel like it's passes. And so the more passes you make, the more coverage, and you don't have to do your passes everywhere. All right. So this is the, got some on the outside. This is Love, and this is our hydrating illuminator. So it will give you some luminosity, but it won't give you a lot of shine. So I'll go in, hey, Deborah. And I'm gonna spray that high cheekbone area. So see how it just grabs that light? Nancy, what are you talking? It's called overspray wear. I'm gonna put some on my lids too, to give it a little bit of shine. And there we go. Yeah, I can even do it down my nose. But with this, if you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do a shimmer, this one would be great for you because it's very subtle. If you're light skin, don't overdo it. It does show up better on darker skin tone. So just because you're a lighter skin tone, don't think it's not coming out. If you feel it, it's coming out and it's going to be beautiful and grab that light. So don't overdo it. All right, I think I'm just going to put, what am I going to put on my lips? I don't know. Oh, there's something else. Of course, I would do some mascara to finish this look. And then, but I'm coming back in a couple of hours. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the lip jelly and get my lips plumped. All right. Oh, thank you. It was in the Nude and Naughty palette, this one. I don't like showing it because I have glue on it. I have my lash glue on here. It's this one. And I used this one right here. That's the one I used. Right there. Now I feel like I have something on my teeth. All right. So boom, there you go. Guys, we're going to be back. We're going to be back at 2 o'clock and we will finish the look. There is another little trick that I want to do. And so I'm going to leave this out. So hopefully I remember. And then we'll keep going. So I hope you have a great Friday if you can't come back. But if not, I'll see you back here at 2. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.